You right, Finn?
Give it heaps, my darling. Here
Oh.
we go.
1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome everyone.
Hello.
Welcome back. 2 weeks off and Chet's had a haircut. Look at him. No, he's had a finger cut actually.
He has.
He's manning the camera. We've got Mr. Dennis Crouch on the bass, ladies and gentlemen, a legend, a Nashville legend. He's played on everyone's records from Elton John to mine. To ours. No, he hasn't played on ours yet.
Not yet. Welcome, Dennis.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. Happy to
Awesome.
be here.
Cool. How are you, Foo?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Pretty collar out there.
I know. What
Yeah,
are you doing?
got something the cat dragged in.
I reckon.
All right, we'll
So
keep
we
rolling.
got Linda Mars. Oh, Simo. Simo's here. Almost identical to Chet. Jeff Simpson is our bass player back in Australia. So he's watching. All right. Beth Brown, Rosalind. Oh my gosh.
2 weeks off seems like forever, doesn't it?
Yes.
Anyway, we're back.
Yeah.
We've
Thanks
got a-
for joining us.
We've got a bunch of new and old songs, and we thought we'd better do some stuff that Dennis might know, because if we start throwing our originals in there with no rehearsals, can't expect him to try and play along with those. So we've picked some weird ones as it is, I think. Some crazy ones. Here's one that I haven't done before. It's an old Merle tune called Big City, and we're going to do him in the key of F tonight. Right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2. I'm tired of this dirty old city. Entirely too much work and never enough play. I'm tired of this dirty old sidewalk. I think I'll walk off my steady job today. Turn me loose, set me free, somewhere in the middle of Tasmania. Give me all I got coming to me. You can keep your retirement and your so-called Social Security. Big city, turn me loose and set me free. I've been working every day since I was 20. Haven't got a lot to show for anything that I've done. There's folks who never worked and they got plenty. I think it's it's time some guys like me had some fun. So turn me loose, set me free, somewhere in the middle of Montana. Give me all I've got, come into me. You can keep your retirement and your so-called Social Security. Big city, turn me loose and set me free. I said big city, turn me loose and set me free.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Joe. There were lots of comments, Dennis. I don't think you were watching, Dennis, but there's lots of comments. Loving the... I know. I know. I'm reading the comments. They're saying, we're missing Chet, but we're loving Dennis. And I saw Clell.
Oh, yeah?
A friend of ours back in Australia, Clelia Adams, you actually played on some of her songs.
You and Willie.
So she just sent in a message. She was buzzing that you're playing, and she said, say thank you for the work that you did. Yeah.
Yes,
That's so cool.
Clell's latest recordings has got Dennis and Willie Cantu, who played drums for Buck Owens on those classic 60s records. He's on it playing drums. So.
Yeah.
On Buckaroo.
He played on
Exactly.
Buckaroo. That's right.
Alright. Hello, Ryan. There you go. You can always count on the Hendons.
I might just change guitars, honey.
Nice to see you guys are on. Alright, Pauline. Oh, look, I know there's been so many comments about Chet maybe singing this week. And don't worry, we've told him all about it. And, you know,
He said he doesn't
Just
want to be
hoping.
cringe.
He's not getting
he doesn't want to be cringe.
not getting paid enough, he reckons.
Chess says he doesn't want to be cringy.
Cringy. Okay, well, he might make an appearance of some description. Anyway, thanks for all the love for Chetty. He's read all the messages, and we're very grateful for all the love. Hey, Brendan Dugan. Oh, in the best place in the world, New Zealand. All right. Hey, we've had lots of requests for Snowbird. Anne Murray recorded this, and so we would like to give it a go tonight.
Yes, Sonny?
You alright, Boo?
Yeah, I'm right.
What?
I don't. No, I don't.
Alrighty.
Right, 1, 2. Oh, 1, 2, 3.
Beneath the snowy mantle, cold and clean, the unborn grass lies waiting for its coat to turn to green. The snowbird sings a song he always sings, and speaks to me of flowers that will bloom again in spring. When I was young, my heart was young then too. Anything that it would tell me, that's the thing that I would do. But now I feel such emptiness within, for the thing that I want most in life's the thing that I can't win. Spread your tiny wings and fly away, and take the snow back with you where it came from on that day. The one I love forever isn't true, and if I could, you know that I would fly away with you.
Let's do it.
That you'll only break my heart again should I decide to stay. So little snowbird, take me with you when you go to that land of gentle breezes where the peaceful waters flow. Spread your tiny wings and fly away, and take the snow back with you where it came from on that day. Though what I love forever is untrue, and if I could, you know that I would fly away with you. Yeah, if I could, you know that I would fly away with you.
Oh, thank you. Well played, boys. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Some snowbird wasn't through flying. Still had a couple more little flutters.
I know, he had a
That's
couple
right.
of flutters at the end, little foo-foo. Good job, Foo. Alright.
Now the normal question. How's it
Right.
sounding, everyone? I just didn't get a lot of time to get the sound too perfect. If it's-
Peter Northcote, sorry Stewie, wants to know, does the new Chet sing? Because the old Chet doesn't sing. Does the new Chet sing?
No.
Guess what? The new Chet does not sing.
No.
Sorry, Pete. But
he
anyway,
swings.
he swings, and we're just grateful to have Mr. Dennis Crouch with us today. But there you go. He doesn't sing. Have you ever sung? Oh. No. Okay.
I bet he does.
I know. Hello from Indiana. Anne Murray was my favourite singer of all time. That's so cool. Oh, it sounds great. There you go, Pete Northcote.
Yeah,
But
go on.
bass light. But bass light.
Bass light.
Bass light. Sounds great.
All right, I'll fix that.
Okay.
I'll take the high pass off. How's that sound? Tell me, Pete. A lot of fun.
Here you go, Fofo.
So here's for those of you who want to know, this is our virtual tip jar. So here's so you can spread the love. But so yeah, so there should be a link in the description. But yeah, so this is our PayPal and Venmo. So paypal.me/CamdenStew or Venmo at Camille French. But yeah.
Stick to your guns, just like Chip. Yeah. Thanks, Boo. Oh, Ronnie. Hey, Ronnie.
Oh, you guys are faithful, eh? They're back every 2 weeks.
know,
Giving up
they
their Sunday arvo. Beautiful, warm Sundays afternoon in Australia. Not.
Oh. Hey, Kathy, working hard at the COVID clinic in Hurstville. Is it Hurstville where Kathy is? Hello to everybody there. Thank you, Kathy, and all of the nurses and doctors and everybody there. All right.
I knew this Russian sound guy once. Check 1, 2. I knew 2 of them. Yeah.
What?
I knew a Russian sound guy and check 1, 2.
What?
He's doing a dad
It's a
joke.
dad joke.
I know it's
Alright.
a dad joke. Oh, wait, the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go. We got a classic coming your way now, folks.
Now, Fufu, you can talk about that.
I heard this song probably a few years ago now, but it made me fall in love with Charlie Rich. But yeah, I absolutely love this song. It's an absolute. It's just like a legendary.
What do you love about it?
Like I don't know, it's just like perfectly. Everything's just perfect.
And the great thing about it, Dennis was telling me last week, he actually recorded in the studio where that was recorded and hasn't changed. He was in that room and he said he got the vibe with those great Charlie Rich records, Patsy Cline. What's the studio called?
It was called, when Charlie Rich done those records, it was called Columbia. That was in the Columbia V. When Patsy was cutting there, it was called the Quonset Hut.
The Quonset Hut.
Yeah, Owen and Harold Bradley had the place. So it was the Quonset Hut back during that time. But when Billy Sherrill had it, it was producing
Tammy Wynette and George.
Tammy and George and Charlie Rich. It was Columbia, and that would have been Columbia A and B rooms. So that would have been the B room during that time.
And he got to play there last week. It hasn't changed. They opened it back up. How lucky.
Knocking on wood.
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
one
Here's a
second.
song that came from one of those sessions.
How long? Alright. One, two, three, four. Hey, did you happen to see the most beautiful girl in the world? And if you did, was she crying, crying? Hey, if you happen to see the most beautiful girl that walked out on me, tell her I'm sorry. Tell her I need my baby, and oh, won't you tell her that I love her? I woke up this morning and realized what I'd done. I stood alone in the cold gray arms. I knew I'd lost my morning sun. I lost my head and I said some things. Now comes the heartache that the morning brings. I knew I was lost, but I couldn't see. I let my world slip away from me. So hey, did you happen to see the most beautiful girl in the world? And if you did, was she crying, crying? Hey, if you happen to see the most beautiful girl that walked down on me, tell her I'm sorry. Tell her I need my baby, and oh, won't you tell her that I love her? If you happen to see the most beautiful girl that walked out on me, tell her I'm sorry. Tell her I need my baby, and oh, won't you tell her that I love her?
Good job,
Yeah.
Fu.
Sorry, Sonny, I fell off my perch then. I was trying to be smart and do all my harmonics and lost it. Like to do it again if we could. No, we won't.
It's all right. I can see your granddad, Richard. Oh, that is so special. I didn't catch who it was, Sonny, but they said they could see your papa's looks in you, my daddy. Oh, that's a bit special. Hey, Kim. Yes, hey, Roger Carroll.
Indian Pacific? This will be a newie for Dennis. He's never heard this before.
Yeah. Okay. Go up the front, Fu. Go there.
We had a request to do this great old Song of Slim's that Joy wrote. It was a big song back in the 70s, mid-70s. It's all about a train that goes from the east coast to the west coast, and it's back in Australia. It's called the Indian Pacific. We haven't got the fiddles, but we've got two guitars, so we'll do our best, won't we, Sonny?
Yep.
And we're going to throw Dennis in the deep end here. He's never heard this song in his life.
Hey,
Just
Dan.
kidding, huh?
Dan Thompson's on there.
It's been hot here, folks. We've got this aircon pumping in here and you wouldn't even know it's going. Would you? I went to check the fuse box before. I thought it had blown a fuse, but it was on. Right?
Not quite.
It's alright, it's okay. It's all good.
Oh, it won't be in a
This
second.
new Flash Gibson he's got, it was in tune when you got it last week.
Dan, hi Dennis. I thought Chet was looking a little bit different. Yeah, very different, Dan. Hey, Auntie Nina.
It's all that soccer I've been playing. It's changed my voice.
Yeah.
It's just moving to the United
Son,
States,
come on,
period.
let's do it.
You know, it's this whole new look.
You're sounding good.
Yeah, sounds awesome.
Okay, I'm ready.
Right? One. Right?
Yeah.
In E?
Yes.
1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. From coast to coast by night and day, hear the clicking of the wheels, the humming of the diesel on her ribbons of steel, carrying the memories of a nation built by hand. See the Indian Pacific span the land. She's a pride of all the railway men, cross country where she flies, from the blue Pacific Ocean to where the mountains rise, by lakes and wide brown rivers, through desert country dry. See the Indian Pacific rolling by. Oh, the Indian Pacific, she goes rolling down the track, 5,000 miles to travel before she's there and back. Beside the line a drover waves his battered old grey hat. The kids are catching yabby down by the river flats, and a woman hangs her washing in the backyard near the line, as the Indian Pacific's rolling by. Hear the whistle blowing lonely neath the Nullarbor starlight, saluting those who walked across the track she rides tonight, calling to the railway camp and fettlers on the line. I'm the Indian Pacific right on time. From the silver of the Broken Hill to old Kalgoorlie gold, she mirrors all the colours of a land so hard and old. Then the western clouds are blooming and the air is just like wine, and the Indian Pacific's making time. Oh, the Indian Pacific, she goes rolling down the track, 5,000 miles to travel before she's there and back. From the waters of the western sea to the eastern ocean sand, the Indian Pacific spans the land. Yeah, the Indian Pacific spans the land.
Yeah.
Well done, Dennis. Well done, buddy.
Sorry, Dennis, I changed it around, but you were there. You had our back.
Had to be a railway man to follow that chart, I reckon.
Love. Lavinia.
Interesting story. Back in 1995, Merle Haggard toured Australia, and we got to do the support for him, Troy Casadale, and where is his band. And Merle is a train nut, and he had the biggest collection of a home train set. What do you call it? Home. I don't know. He had the biggest train collection anyway, model train
yeah.
in the world. And so he wanted to go on the Indian Pacific, and he got on it. And it was, I think the suspension in the carriage he was in was a bit shot, and by the time they got to Adelaide, he paid out about 20 grand to get another carriage put on for him and his band so they could party, because they weren't allowed to party. And so yeah, I'd love to have been a fly on the wall. No, maybe not. Anyway. I might change guitars.
Hey, Judy. To what?
Gibbo, the old fella. The old girl.
Bridgetown. Oh, we love the Bridgetown Country Music Festival, but I don't think we'll get back there next year. It's very different. The school year here is different to the Australian year. The kids started school this week after 5 months. 5 months off school. They started back this week. What do you think, guys? How was it?
Pretty good.
Chet must have liked it. He cut his
Chet.
finger so he could stay home.
Yeah, I reckon. Chetty, come and say hi. We better get the injured boy to come and say hello. He's not dressed up, but it's alright. Here we go. Here he is. Chetty.
Hello, everybody.
He's just
Hello,
back
Harry.
from the hospital.
Here we go. How was your first week of school?
It's pretty good. I mean,
First day.
I was meant to go Monday and Thursday, but Thursday was election day, so I got that off. A single one day, yeah. I'm kind of excited though to go back.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Cool. You better show everyone your finger in case they thought you were faking it.
No, give me a look.
Yuck.
Yeah, see that?
Wrong
there's
finger.
the camera, there's the camera.
Wrong finger.
Wait, no, it's not. See that right there? Maybe not hard to see, but
There we go.
What he'll do to get out of rehearsals,
I
folks.
reckon.
What he'll do.
Yeah, we work them hard, but hey. I wanted to slice it. And for those that want to know, he sliced it trying to cut a frozen banana. Anyway, we're happy to have Mr. Dennis Crouch join us tonight. What?
What's that? That lady says Chet sounding so American. So, really, I mean, come on.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I'm really not judging anyone.
All right.
Giving the circumstance.
Well, we're going to do a tune that we always love to play. It's a shuffle, and Dennis is the king of the shuffle over
Yeah.
there.
All right. A bit
What
of
is
My Baby Just Cares.
So I'll kick her off.
Thank you, Kim.
My baby don't care for shows. My baby don't care for clothes. My baby just cares for me. My baby don't care for cars and races. My baby don't care for high-tone places. Liz Taylor's not his style, and even Lana Turner's smile is something he can't see. My baby don't care who knows it. My baby just cares for me. Boys. My baby don't care for shows, and he don't even care for clothes. My baby just cares for me. My baby don't care for cars and races. My baby don't care for high-tone places. Liz Taylor's not his style, and even Lana Turner's smile is something he can't see. My baby don't care who knows my baby just cares for. Ooh, he just says his prayers for. My baby just cares for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Dennis Crouch, everybody. Oh my goodness. We are very, very lucky tonight to have you. Thank you so much.
I can't believe you weren't booked.
Oh my goodness. I know, we were so lucky.
A good pandemic will do that.
Nothing like a
This is
good
true.
pandemic to make
Yeah.
you available.
I know. Oh, sorry. All right.
There we go.
Just
What do we got? Oh, the Moo Moo Girl.
The move song.
You better introduce your sister very nicely.
So we're gonna welcome to the stage the most beautiful nugget you've ever seen.
Call her a
a
nugget.
nugget.
Introduce her
I'm
nicely.
joking. Here's my little sister Manaya, and we're gonna sing a song that the Jodds
Is that high enough
played,
for you,
and it's called Grandpa.
Yeah. To the Leo Loveday food.
We're gonna do this one for Leo Loveday.
Yeah.
Good on you, Leo. Thanks for your support, you guys.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Are you right, Moo? You good? Awesome. Your big voice.
You need, yeah? One,
Yes.
two. Oh, 1, 2.
Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Sometimes it feels like this world's gone crazy. And Grandpa, take me back to yesterday, when the line between right and wrong didn't seem so hazy. Did lovers really fall in love to stay and stand beside each other come what may? Was a promise really something people kept, not just something they would say? Did families really bow their heads to pray? Did daddies really never go away? Oh, 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 Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Grandpa, everything is changing fast. We call it progress, but I just don't know. And Grandpa, let's wander back into the past and paint me the picture of a long ago. Did lovers really fall in love to stay and stand beside each other come what may? Was a promise really something people kept, not just something they would say and then forget? Did families really bow their heads to pray? Did daddies really never go away? Oh, 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 Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful,
Missy
Moo.
Moo.
Beautiful, darling.
Good job, Moo Moo. Beautiful harmony, my darling. Yes, yeah, for sure.
Right. We're going to straighten up and stagger through an old tune now.
Hang on, Fufu's doing a
Oh, he's
little
doing
tip
it.
jar.
For those of you who weren't here before or haven't seen yet, this is our virtual tip jar. But yeah, so it's paypal.me/Cam and Stu or Venmo at Camille French. But here's so you can share the love. But the link should be in the description for it. But yeah.
And what if they can't tip
But
off?
yeah, if you can't tip, we also really appreciate it if you share this live stream. But yeah.
Get your electric on through. Get that new Gibson, Sonny. You got that new bright red thing?
Green dart.
You can play really fast on that. So you're going to need to for this one, eh?
Yes. Hey, I'm just sending our love out to Noreen Dart, who is unfortunately unwell in Warrnambool Hospital, and we really hope that you get well soon, and we're thinking of you. So, yeah.
Hope you're watching.
Yes, I know she is. She
Oh, good.
apparently watches every week, so just a shout out to you, Noreen. All right. Where are we going here? Oh, Stumpin'.
Well, as you know, folks, each week we like to test ourselves out with some tunes.
Till the last time somebody looked at
We always raise a sweat. Last time we did a tune called Baby Guitar, and it was crazy fast. And here's another one of those tunes. This isn't quite as fast, I hope. But it's got a few weird little turnarounds in it. I remember years ago we played it with the legendary Red Volkart, and Jeff Simpson, myself and Michelle Rose were like poodles at a Rottweiler party. We were hanging on, but we got there. So we'll see how we go tonight. We're pretty nervous. This tune's called Stumbling.
When we get to that last verse, you let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what it is.
I know.
It's
No,
after
you just,
the bass solo.
just let us all know. So we're all on the same page. We're driving down the same road.
All right, let's straighten up and stagger through Stumbling. You ready, Sonny?
Yeah.
1 sec.
Get in the middle position.
Right.
Oh, this cousin Kim. Kia ora, Kim. Ah, it's nice.
All right?
Who are you talking to? Me?
No, Sonny.
We know you're right.
No.
What's your first notes, Fu? I just need to remember mine. Yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice solo, Sonny. I heard a bit of Hank Garland coming out there.
Oh, boy.
And Red Polkart.
And Red, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I sure was stumbling.
I was stumbling too.
Good job, my darling.
All right.
Nice.
Well,
Joey.
since this COVID thing hit, I've become a huge fan of Prison Break. Who remembers that show, folks? It's like legendary show. My kids were telling me, and I had to sit down and watch it. Well, once I started, I couldn't stop.
Couldn't
So we
stop.
just watched it every day.
We watched it every day, right till the end. Now I want to start watching repeats.
We finished it. We went all the way through, and it's so sad. And now every time we sing this song, all we think of is the characters breaking out and going down to Mexico.
Yep.
But it's just
So we
Yeah.
sing this song. Here we are. I'm Schofield. Who are you?
I'm Lincoln Burrows.
Lincoln Burrows. All right. You know that show, Dennis?
No.
You got to watch it. Come
Yeah,
around.
now I have something to
We'll
do.
sit through it with you.
Yeah.
When you've watched it, I swear you can just relate to this song so much. Like, it's so
You
weird.
guys are just buzzing about this song. And
It should have been the theme song for Prison Break.
I first heard this song, actually, Hank Snow did it years ago when I was a kid. I heard Hank's version, then I heard Merle's version, then George Strait had a hit with it. Here we go. Prison Break, here we go. I left out of Tucson with no destination in mind. I was running from trouble and the jail term that the judge had in mind. But the border meant freedom, a new life of romance, and that's why I thought I should go and start my life over on the seashores of old Mexico. My first night in Juarez, I lost all the money I had. One bad senorita made use of one innocent lad. But I must keep on running, it's too late to turn back. I'm wanted in Tucson, I'm told, and things will blow over on the seashores of old Mexico. Two Mexican farmers en route to a town I can't say. Let me ride on the back of a flatbed half loaded with hay. Down through Durango, Palmyra, Almira, then into Manzanillo, where I slept in the sunshine on the seashores of old Mexico. After one long siesta, I came wide awake in the night. I was startled by someone whose shadow the pale moonlight. My newfound companion, one young senorita, who offered a broken hello to the gringo she found on the seashores of old Mexico. She spoke of Sonora and swore that she'd never return. For her Mexican husband, she really had no great concern, 'cause she loved a gringo, my red hair and lingo, and that's all that I needed to know. Yeah, I found what I needed on the seashores of old Mexico. Yeah, she loved a gringo, my red hair and lingo, and that's all I needed to know. Yeah, I found what I needed on the seashores of old Mexico. Prison Break, that's the theme. That's
Thank
the theme.
you.
Nice
Thank
playing
you,
there, guys.
Dennis. Well done. That was so cool.
Sonny wanted me to sing that line where,
Go cool bass.
what is it about the... She offered me a chicken taco. I wouldn't sing that. Yes, Merle Haggard wrote that. That's one of his great songs, I reckon, if not his greatest in my book.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
such a
me
great song.
too, personally.
Here you go, Kim Cheshire. Lovely bass playing, Dennis.
Thank you.
Again, lots of lovely comments. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Glenn.
All right. What have we got? Pauline Brown.
It's up to you, honey. It's
Yeah.
up to you now.
Panhandle.
You've got a real singer.
Excuse me, Mum.
Sorry, Donna.
Space real quick.
Yeah.
You do the vocals to this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Ah. Yeah, this song is, I think, more known as an instrumental, right?
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
all with the vocals.
Oh,
Well, we
cool.
do the front.
Does
So
it
it's
do the
nice.
vocals?
Yes. Yeah.
That's the jazz one.
So we got to play this with the Time Jumpers, who, hi, Mr. Dennis Crouch here. He did you
Started
start
it.
it? Yeah, he
Well,
started,
co-founded, yeah.
co-founded the Time Jumpers,
98.
1998, ladies and gentlemen.
And here you are now in our living room. No, what a great band.
Yeah, they
Oh,
are.
they are. Yeah, we love them. So anyway, we're gonna.
I'm really proud. I'm proud for those guys. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a live
They've been
DVD.
going for maybe 6 years or 7. No, I'm not sure. I think I left in 13 or 14.
Did you?
Yeah.
Is that when you were on the road with Diana Krall? From then on?
I left. Yeah. Well, no, I was out with her for 3 or 4 years and then left
Wow.
during that time.
Okay.
But
Was that when he was on the road with Elton John?
Yeah.
No.
I know you could go on and on, right?
It's a great. I enjoyed my time.
Yeah.
I liked it. You know, you guys
Absolutely.
the station in, and I'm proud they're at 3rd and Lindsley. And
I know, right?
Not to plug either place, but I like the station in.
Mm-hmm.
I love the DVD that Dennis is in the band they made back in mid 2006 or 7, and
Yeah.
what a lineup that was. Dawn Sears and
Ah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. John Huey.
John
was-
Huey on
was
steel.
still-
What a
yeah,
band.
yeah.
Carolyn Martin.
Yes.
All right.
Anyway, that was a great, and Hoot Hester. Hoot Hester was a
Yes.
part of founding that band too.
Yeah.
And, we all miss Hoot. And, but anyway, long story short is I'm really happy for those guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can't wait till they start playing again.
I know, we want to go and watch them.
Likewise,
For
I'm
sure.
really excited for them.
Yeah.
I'm excited for everyone to play with them.
I know, right?
Well, we're going to do a song that we got to do with the Time Jumpers about 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Cam got to sing with Vince Gill, you know.
Stop bragging, Stewie.
Dropping it. I should have worn my steel cap boots, folks. I'm dropping that many names tonight. All right.
Just make sure not too fast. Too sweet. Runs right
Yeah,
through, right?
one,
Okay.
1, 2, 1.
I was walking along a Texas border town, just another girl with plenty of time. He was wandering too when his heart met mine in the panhandle town along the borderline. Well, the night was cold, dreary, and the rain that was falling sure was falling fast. And I was getting weary 'cause I found another dearie in the town I'd pass, but I never roam from this border town, because I married that boy and we settled down.
first there, Sonny. Go again. Keep it going. Keep it going, son. Ready?
I was walking along the Texas border town, just another girl with plenty of time. He was wandering too when his heart met mine in the panhandle town along the borderline. Well, the night was cold and dreary and the rain that was falling sure was falling fast.
Falling fast.
And I was getting weary cause I found another dearie in a town I'd pass, but I'll never roam from this border town, because I married that boy and we settled down. Because I married that boy and we settled down.
Yeah, well done, team.
Swinging.
That was so cool.
That's good words. I don't know what people doesn't do to words.
Yeah. Well, when we did it with the Time Jumpers, they didn't realise there was words either. Kenny said,
I always knew there was words, but people just.
don't do it. Here you
I wonder
go.
if Cindy Walker. That sounds like Cindy Walker could have possibly written those words on the wall. Maybe
Hey.
someone out there.
Dennis, we've got a lot of complaints. No one. Can you give the bass player a mic, please? We want to hear
Probably
what he's
doesn't want to
talking.
share our mic, but he could maybe,
That's all right.
I don't know.
You can
They
replay
wanna
it,
hear
folks.
that,
You can
like,
replay it, turn it up.
Stories in your voice.
Oh, I have nothing. I'm through. Then I'm
No,
done.
no way. I love it. There's lots and lots, as you can imagine, Dennis, of Aussies and New Zealanders, especially. You know, out of the 525 people, you know, there's
Yeah.
lots of Kiwis and lots
Yeah.
of Aussies tuning in.
I sound just like these guys.
We love your accent. Alrighty. What, are you going to do a...
Poor guy's probably not understood one word we've said all night.
If you want.
Oh, I can chuck a quick paper.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I have. I understood pan.
So here is the virtual tip jar. For those of you who haven't seen yet, but this is where you can share the love. But yeah, so it's PayPal and Venmo. But the link should be in the description. But if you can't tip, we also really appreciate you sharing this video. But yeah, thank you guys so much.
Leon McAuliffe. We're at Panhandle Rag.
Oh, well, you know what? That would make perfect sense.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, I knew he wrote the instrumental version,
Okay. Right.
but
so,
I don't know that he would have written the,
The lyrics. Don't listen to Dan Tompkins.
Yeah, Dan.
Dan Tompkins. Dan Thompson. He's a walking encyclopedia.
Are you playing your acoustic?
No, you're probably right, Dan. Find out who wrote the lyrics, please.
Yeah.
Cool.
Perhaps it,
Yeah.
Fair enough.
See, Webb Pierce sang it years later, didn't he? When the lyrics were written, he actually did a vocal version. So,
Right. Up you go. You can have a talk about this one.
is she playing guitar?
So I think it was about, when was it? When I fell in love with the Eagles.
The Eagles.
Well, I went through a mega Eagles phase for like 6 months there for a while, and I was just listening to the Eagles every single day. But we'd already been doing this song, so at that time, whenever we would play this song, I would just be in heaven because like I'd been listening to all the parts and all the harmonies. But this song's just a great song. It won the Eagles a Grammy. But yeah, so it was on Hotel California.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We'll do it. He's done the big talk now.
Yeah,
Long
we're
song.
doing New Kid in Town.
Oh, okay. Let's do New Kid and then we'll do that one. Thanks, Foo, for that introduction.
Sorry, I cut you off there.
Yeah.
You're not playing guitar?
No. All right. Yes, sick. Who wanted the Eagles? It was Elia. I know Elia wanted the Eagles and Pat. It's a porkery in Tasmania.
Eagles.
So yeah, here we
Well,
go.
we've got a new Eagles song on the way too, folks. It's an oldie. Back when they were a real country band back in the early 70s. It's probably not a popular, common one, but we're going to do it, aren't we, Foo?
One of the greats. For harmonies, it's a legend.
1, 2. Oh, 1, 2, 3.
There's talk on the street, it sounds so familiar. Great expectations, everybody's watching you. And people you meet, they all seem to know you. Even your old friends treat you like you're something new. Johnny come lately, the new kid in town. Everybody loves you, so don't let them down. You look in her eyes, the music begins to play. Hopeless romantics, here we go again. But after a while you're looking the other way. It's those restless hearts that never met. Johnny come lately, the new kid in town. Will she still love you when you're not around? There's so many things you should have told her, but night after night you're willing to hold her, just hold her, tears on your shoulder. This talk on the street, it's there to remind you. Doesn't really matter which side you're on. You're walking away and they're talking behind you. They will never forget you till somebody new comes along. Where you been lately? Everybody loves him, don't they? And he's holding her. You're still around. Oh my, there's a new kid in town. Just another new kid in town. Everybody's talking about the new kid in town. Everybody's walking like the new kid in town. There's a new kid in town. I don't wanna hear it. There's a new kid in town. I don't wanna hear it. Oh, yeah, there's a new kid in town. There's a new kid in town.
Oh, that is one of our favourites. Oh, hey, Dita.
Well done, Dennis. Following
Yeah.
that chart I wrote, you did a great job.
Thank you. Hey, Dita and Connie, we are sending all our love to you too. Thank you for your ongoing support.
Yes, Dita, Connie, thank you.
Yeah, we miss you. We miss the mince pies, our meetings at Rudy Hill, RSL, and the... Hey, remember Dita would arrive with a big pack of mince pies for us?
Where are they now, Dita? Right when we need
You
them.
know what? We pastry is kind of hard to find here, and it's quite expensive.
Costs a lot of dough here.
It does. But we've found this shop or this bakery in LA, and so we get shipped over mince pies, like beef
Oh, here it is,
beef
yeah.
pies, like pastry with beef. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, but we ship them over from the I think it's called the Aussie Pies and Sausage Roll shop. So we get our sausage rolls and our meat pies. So we get our little Aussie fix that way. But anyway, thinking of you guys, Dita and Connie. Kia ora, Dave. Elia. Oh, Kenny.
Happy birthday, Kenny.
Happy birthday, Kenny.
Man, hope I look as good as you do at 78, Kenny.
Mark Collins.
You know Mark? Banjo player from
Yeah,
88.
I
Australia?
do. I've heard from Mark.
Oh, there you go.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah, I do know Mark.
There you go, Mark.
So one of
Dennis remembers you very well.
the first couple of times I've actually looked at the screen, I look up and I see Mark. Yeah.
There you go.
All right, let's do it.
So what are we doing?
What are we doing?
who's
who's gonna
gonna-
fill?
Oh,
This is what you're meant to talk about. Dolly?
Someone before said, I love the angels.
The who?
The angels.
Oh, the angels.
Angels.
Ah, Hadida.
And I saw e-girls.
Yeah.
E-girls.
Well, we're going to a song from a guy that's probably rated the greatest country singer. But I think Merle he's my favourite. But George Jones, man, he's up there. And this is his big hit from the early 90s, late 80s, whenever it was. What's it called, Fu?
It's called Who's Gonna Fill Their Shoes?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Right?
Hang on, no, hold on. Tell a dad joke, please. Good dad joke?
Man. Oh, they like me day joke. What's the joke? I don't know any. I think I'd have a list of jokes. When the pressure's on, I could just rely on them, wouldn't you? I can't tell my plane joke anymore because I don't think I'll ever get on a plane again. Well, not for a while. But last time I was on an aeroplane, I thought I'm not going to have a bad seat this time, and I got on the plane and I grabbed a good seat. It's in America, you line up and it's first and best dressed on some of the airlines. And so anyway, I get on the plane. Next thing, this guy comes up and starts yelling at me to get out of his seat. And I said, mate, I was here first, it's my seat, too bad. We had a big argument, and in the finish he said, all right, you fly the flaming plane then.
That's your father. Yeah? No, just
Keep it on, why is it running low? How low?
Don't worry
We've
about
only
it.
got a couple left. We're good. Oh, okay, that's
It's
all right.
fine. All right, let's do
We're
it.
good.
Thanks, Dan. Come on, Sonny. Let's do
Right.
it.
Whenever you're ready.
You counter it.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, this whole world is full of singers, but just a few are chosen to tear your heart out when they sing. Imagine life without them. All your radio heroes, like the outlaw that walks through Jesse's Street. No, there'll never be another red-headed stranger, a man in black and Folsom prison blues. The Yoki from Muskogee, and hello, darling. Lord, I wonder who's gonna fill their shoes. Who's gonna fill their shoes? Who's gonna stand that tall? Who's gonna play at the Opry and the Wabash Cannonball? Who's gonna give their heart and soul to get to me and you? Lord, I wonder who's gonna fill their shoes. God bless the boys from Memphis, blue suede shoes and Elvis. Much too soon they left this world in tears. They tore up the 50s, oh, Jerry Lee and Charlie, and Go Cat Gold still echoes through the years. You know the heart of country music still beats in Luca drifting. You can tell it when he sings, I saw the light. Oh, Hank, Marty, and Lefty, well, I can feel them right here with me on the Silver Eagle, rolling through the night. Who's gonna fill their shoes? Who's gonna stand that tall? Who's gonna play at the Opry and the Wabash Cannonball? Who's gonna give their heart and soul to get to me and you? Lord, I wonder who's gonna fill their shoes? Who's gonna fill their shoes? Who's gonna stand that tall? Who's gonna play at the Opry and the Wabash Cannonball? Who's gonna give their heart and soul to get to me and you? Lord, I wonder who's gonna fill their shoes. Yes, I wonder who's gonna fill their shoes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well done, Foo. Good job, darling.
Yes.
It's beautiful. Hey?
You right there? How'd you get it off? Right.
Oh. Thank you for those lovely comments. We can see them all coming through. And we just want to make mention and give a shout out to Mez, our buddy Mez, as our dear friend Audrey passed away 5 years ago, and we miss her dearly. And
Thanks. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, last time we saw Audrey was over here, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She was living here in Nashville with
No,
Nez.
LA.
Yeah, I know, and then they moved to Stinson.
Oh,
And,
Stinson Beach.
Yeah. Anyway, we miss her so much, so we're thinking of Audrey and Mez today. All right, what have we got, boys? Instrumental.
Right, here's a tune that we did a while back, and we had another request for it. And we only do them if we've been asked. Requests, that is. So, this is called Hank's Dream, and we love it. Hank Garland, what a great guitar player. I didn't realise how great he was till I got to Nashville and actually started really listening.
Middle pickup.
Yeah. Hank Garland was a big Gibson man, and he had one of the last guitars he played was one of these at 3, 4, 5. What are you doing?
Sorry, I was just moving it out of the way because it's.
And that's a bit like a Birdland that Hank would have played.
That's why I love this
He
one.
designed a Birdland, Gibson Birdland. So here we go, Hank's Dream. I'll get a bit of slap back going. All right,
Okay.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wasn't it?
I started off a bit rough on that. I nearly stopped and started again because I thought I like
Really?
this tune too much. I got on this guitar and I couldn't find where C was. I'm 2 frets away.
You need your glasses. Old age.
No, I just should have played my other guitar. Anyway, no excuses, folks. No excuses.
A little bit of Les Paul there, Stewie.
Yeah.
Okay. He's concentrating here.
Les when he was about 110.
Oh, Foo, here we go. It's one of your favourites.
Change another guitar. Sorry.
Hey, Foo.
Yeah. And which one is it? Oh yeah, Sam's face.
Has this song got a lyric in it called "There's a shimmy shaking Tina"?
Yeah, that's it.
The hills from Pete.
Sedina.
Yeah, yeah. We had this record when I was a kid, but I think George Jones Does George Jones have a version of this?
Probably did.
Yeah.
Sounds like a George song.
But when I was a kid, we had it on a 45. It was a 45 record.
Yeah.
And when I was like 6 years old. And, but we would put it on, and I remember that lyric.
Right.
There's old, that's how it was said. There's old shimmy shaking Tina that hails from Pasadena. She's got a big smile on her face. She's always got a big smile on her face.
There you go, Fu. You got to do it like that.
But as a 6-year-old kid, I probably shouldn't have been hearing that lyric at the time, you know.
Mania, go. All right, let's do it. Right, Sonny?
Yep.
He's
You're
right
right.
now. He's doing all right now.
You right, Donnie Rich over there?
Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
This place down the street we call Sam's Place.
On it.
And it starts dropping every evening when the sun goes down. You can always find me down at Sam's Place. Yeah, 'cause that's where the gang all hangs around. There's old shimmy shaking Tina. She hails from Pasadena. She's always got a big smile on her face. There's old Coochie Hattie. She comes from Cincinnati. Yeah, there's always a party at Sam's Place. Oh, they've got a swinging band down at Sam's Place, and you can hear them picking 20 blocks away. Yeah, they're playing country music down at Sam's Place from the setting sun until the break of day. There's old shimmy shaking Tina. She hails from Pasadena. She's always got a big smile on her face. There's old Coochie Hattie. She comes from Cincinnati. Yeah, there's always a party at Sam's Place. And we'll meet you tonight at Sam's Place.
Yeah.
That was the one.
That was it.
Yeah,
That
that's
was it.
fun.
I'm someone who's awesome.
I'd seen this time, I remember earlier. And then it finally, that's what we were
Yeah.
talking about today, you know, these songs, sing that list, and then
Yeah.
it took a while for all the
To get it.
to go off, but when the dots started connecting, it was like, man, I remember these songs, and that is one of them.
Right.
And that lyric started coming back.
How often, Dennis, do you get a call to come and just play bass for a bunch of strangers that, and they just send you a song list and like he turns up, he says, now that song such and such, is that the version of such and such? Because says some songs have more than, you know, there's, for the one name there's a few different songs. And
Well, one was being the my baby just cares for me. You know?
Yes.
That was one that came in. It was like, is it the Nina Simone, or
yeah,
you know, because I sort of knew it as the Nina Simone, but then if you really want to get in, is it Sinatra's version? Is it
Yeah.
Nina Simone, or? But there's sort of country versions of it working. You know.
Right. Oh my gosh.
But as the list goes down, it could be there's certain or the Sam's Place. You know, I knew
Yeah.
it as a George Jones,
yeah.
but I know Buck Owens probably that's like the definitive hit though, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of he and
Yeah.
Don Rich.
Yeah.
But anyway, to answer your question, not too often.
Ah, well, it's good to see you
So I
smile.
like it. I really like it, you know, because I grew up with this stuff, you know. These are all my roots, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I really this is Buckaroo and Big City. I was playing Big City in the bars. You know, I grew up. That was a hit when I was growing up,
Yeah, cool.
and I was playing with a guy, my brother, who's
Yes,
a really
too.
incredible fiddle player. We were playing for a guy named Billy Joe French,
Huh, really?
who could be a really long lost cousin. But we were playing in a band, and I think it was 14 or 15. Billy Joe would have to sign me into the clubs and promise club owners that I wouldn't drink.
Too much.
Yeah, well, 14 or 15, you know the first thing that happened.
Yes.
I walked in and got carried out. But that's where I learned how to play Big City.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, well,
Sure did.
we're so grateful that you were able to come and hang out with our family and
yeah.
play with us tonight,
Yeah, well,
Dennis.
thank you,
We
thank you.
feel really blessed that you were
Thank
able
you
to
guys. Yeah.
come over and
Well, I remember you guys
do
as
this.
a feral cats.
Yeah, the Feral
Years
Swing
back
Cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we were reminded, and then, we caught up via Nash Chambers as you guys moved to town.
Yes, that's
Yeah, yes.
right. Yeah. Both hired. Yeah.
And then my brother, you guys have worked together on various
We
records.
have used your brother a lot.
Yeah, it's funny, folks. Back in Australia, when I had my studio running flat out, I was always sending tracks to Arkansas to his brother to play fiddle, mandolin. He
He's
played everything,
amazing.
banjo.
He's so good.
Unbelievable musician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd like to hear you two together one day. Wouldn't that be a treat?
I know,
no?
wouldn't that be
Yeah, maybe
cool?
so. Maybe
When he's
so.
in town next, he'll have to come and sit in on our gig again.
Wow,
Yeah,
wouldn't that
that's
be
right,
cool?
That's right.
Yeah.
So thank you, and thanks everybody once again for tuning in. We really appreciate all of your support. We're at week 16. We've been doing these shows. This is our 16th show,
Wow.
and we're so thankful for you all.
It's kept us alive.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Almost
helped
you.
us.
Almost a third of the year.
And the wheat bix, man, we're going through the mowing them wheat bix
I
down. I tell
know,
you.
all the food that we've had sent over from Australia and New Zealand. We get boxes of food from our so thank you very much.
That's great.
Yeah. Hey, Chetty, do you want to come and you can join us on this song or come and say
Chet.
hi and bye? Where's Manaya, by the way? She's up for this one.
Get chat too. No? He's got my noise cancelling headphones on. That's a bit of a coincidence.
And don't forget, up in the description, there is the link where you can PayPal or Venmo. If you don't do those, just send us a message. Some people do, and there's other ways, direct deposit, whatever. But thank you so much for your support.
And I'll say hi to my
Moo-moo.
bro in Tassie, Jamie. He's always asked me what songs we're going to do, so I hope he's enjoyed today.
Yeah.
And say good day to our families too in New Zealand and Tasmania. Right, we're going to finish with a classic Johnny Cash song.
Okay.
Chet might sing, Pete. Who knows? He might come over and sing Daddy Sing Bass. Come on. We're going to do a Johnny Cash song. And Johnny and June and the Carter family, they're about 150 metres from where we live. That's where they're buried. And it's unbelievable. You can walk over there and pay your respects anytime. It's pretty cool. All right, here we go. Yeah? You need
Right.
1, 2, 1. I remember when I was a lad, times were hard and things were bad, but there's a silver lining behind every cloud. Just for people, that's all we were, try and make a living out of black land dirt. We get together in a family circle, singing loud. Daddy sang bass,
Mama sang tenor.
Me and little brother were drawing right in there.
singing seems to soothe a troubled soul. One of these days, and it won't be long, I'm gonna join them in a song. We'll get together at the family circle at the throne. Oh, the circle won't be broken by and by, Lord, by and by. Daddy sang bass
Mama sang tenor.
Me and little brother were drawing right in there.
in the sky, Lord, in the sky. I remember after work, Mama would call in all of us. You could hear us singing for a country mile. Now little brother's done gone on, but we're gonna join him in a song. We'll get together again up yonder in a little while. Daddy sang bass,
Mama sang tenor.
Me and little brother would join right in there.
singing seems to soothe a troubled soul. One of these days, and it won't be long, I'm gonna join them in a song. We're gonna join the family circle at the throne. Oh, the circle won't be broken by and by, Lord, by and by. Daddy sang bass,
Mama sang tenor.
Me and little brother would join right in there.
in the sky, Lord, in the sky. In the sky, Lord, in the sky. In the sky, Lord, in the sky. Yeah. What do we take it out with? Fat Boy Rag? Yeah, in G? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.